We are back today with Ana Paula Cotta, our life coach who works with women on confidence. So today we're going to talk a little bit about fluency. What does fluency mean to Ana Paula? We're going to check in with her and see how she's doing with her punctuation and her voice. And we're just going to talk a little bit more about this whole idea of speed of speech and making sure that you're pausing really well. All right, good. Well, we're back with Ana Paula Cotta. Thanks for being here again.
I'm happy to be here.
Last time when we were talking, we talked a little bit about fluency. And I was saying that sometimes a non-native English speaker thinks that speed, speaking quickly, means that they're fluent. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what do you think of when you say, I'm fluent in English? What does that mean to you?
That's actually a good question. I think if you ask me that, it's when my thought process is not getting in the way, when I'm speaking with flow, which means I'm not self-conscious about the process, which is hard when English is not your first language.
Right.
So I feel like the better I become in the language, the better it flows, therefore I have more fluidity. How do you say that
fluency.
word? Fluency.
So does that mean like the vocabulary is coming, the grammar is coming? Is that what you mean? Like, oh, if it's coming...
Yeah, when I'm not thinking. So literally it means that I'm not thinking before I speak,
okay.
Right? So that's how I see that. If you ask me, how do I see that? When I'm not thinking before I speak, where the message is coming as the thought process is there, but it's not about the language itself, it's about my thought processes.
Right.
Does that make
sense? Oh,
sense?
totally makes sense. Yeah, because in our native language, we don't, it's like either the thoughts aren't there because we don't know what the thoughts are, right? It's not a question of, is the language, am I getting the language that I want to communicate my thought,
I mean,
right?
that's what I meant to say.
So then let me take this question one step further. When you think about the delivery of the message, imagine your thoughts are there, it's coming, you're in a great communication moment, right?
Okay.
What does fluency mean then with regard to flow and speed for you?
Intimacy with the language, right? And I think that's probably why I love reading, because in a way, even if you don't have an active process of trying to learn those grammars, the more I read, the better I become at speaking, because it's understanding how people are coding it, how are you putting the words together as a native. So when I read something that you wrote or somebody that it's native had written, I feel like I'm getting into that rhythm of language.
Okay.
So it's not so awkward how I'm placing the words, and that's what I mean, baby.
So the more you read,
for sure,
it helps you with your speech.
Absolutely.
I totally want to point that out. Reading out loud especially will help you with your speech in general. For sure. And then, so last time, if you remember, we talked about punctuating your speech.
Yes.
How have you been doing with that? Have you been noticing if you're pausing a little bit more, taking more intention, having more intention with your communication?
Absolutely. And it's funny that you said before, I made a point to read out loud in bed one day and thinking of what we had spoken. And not only that, I think with my social interactions, I'm trying also, and I also even spoke about you. I said, wow, I have this friend and she's a coach for accent reduction, and I feel like she helps me so much because my speed is way too fast. And just to make it clear, when I speak fast, it's because I just want to get there much more than thinking that I'm sounding fluently.
And it might not even be a language thing, right?
No,
you probably do it in
it's like
Portuguese
I
too.
probably do it in Portuguese too. I just and it's definitely has helped me since a week ago that I spoke. And I feel more conscious, and the only way to get even better is to be conscious for a long time until it becomes the normal, which is not right now.
Right, and so even while you're talking to me, and maybe we'll just talk another minute or so, you know, I'd love to have you have that clarity of pausing. Because you did it a few times while you were just speaking to me, and it just gave me that extra time to think about that phrase. Not the whole point you were making, but one phrase at a time, to kind of think about it like that.
It's definitely unnatural. So I will need more time. And as I said, I really plan on working on that. And even on my daily conversations, I'm trying better. And when I think of you, it's actually, that's why I think it's precious to have a coach. Yeah. Because when I think of that desired outcome, I think of you, how you speak and how you breathe and how you...
Good.
And you're not slow. It's not that I'm like, okay, Jill, hurry up. It's perfect timing, just my time is ahead of that, and I'm trying to become more aware.
Well, good. No, right there too. I hope that you could hear that too, that there's definitely more pacing and pausing, right? So two things I'm getting from my viewers. right? First of all, we want to make sure that you're thinking of techniques like reading out loud. And when you find the phrasing, when you read, you can start to feel the rhythm of the speech, which is what you were saying. And then also just to remember that fluency itself, you can know the language, you have the grammar, you have the vocabulary, but think about when you're speaking, there's a certain flow that requires the pauses. And I just wanted to talk to Anna a little bit more today because I just wanted to make sure that people understood that fluency doesn't equal speed. We need you to take your time, go with each phrase, pause, pace your speech, and then you'll be more fluent in your speech when you're speaking.
I think that sounds beautiful.
All right, good.
And just a point for them.
Yeah.
Again, it's been only a week. And I feel like sometimes when you're trying to learn something, there's a in your mind, you just want to kind of get it. And it takes practice. I literally feel like and then when I think of that conversation we've had, I slow down, but then I go into my natural mode, fast again, and I feel like it would take me a little while, but it just feels so refreshing to know that I'm working on myself.
Yeah.
And I think
having that reminder.
And it's not one class or one conversation that will change that, but that frame of mind, so you begin to slowly work on yourself.
Good.
And I appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate you coming back and talking with us.
I'm happy to be here.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you to Ana Paula Cotta. We really appreciate having this conversation today about fluency and about pausing and remembering how important it is to read out loud. So go ahead and like and share, subscribe to the Accent Ace channel, and I'll see you again next time. Bye-bye.